Hello, folks. This is the playoff game between SUC and Enigma for the second and third seed, respectively, for the Noxian division for Casual Esports Amateur League. I am Lightning13Z, and with me is Randomonium, and the AMO is doing our stream hosting. So, we'll wait for the pro draft, and then we'll get started.
Yeah, this is going to be a pretty interesting matchup between Star United and Enigma. They actually played each other in Week 5, and Star United, they won 2-0, and it looked like Game 1 was pretty close. It looked like Game 2 was not as close. But Star United was really bot lane focused, it seemed like. They had pretty much all of their bans went towards bot lane, so it's going to be interesting to see if they try to target Enigma's bot lane again. They had 5 bot lane and support bans in game 1, and they had 3 bot lane and support bans in game 2. But yeah, both these teams are in the Noxian division. Star United is the number 2 seed, Enigma is number 3 seed. And Enigma is actually the only team that took a game off of Bronze 5H, which is the number 1 seed, and who have already advanced to the finals. So I'm kind of expecting that Star United is going to kind of do something similar to what they did in their first 2 matches against Enigma. They'll be focusing on bot lane and support bans. And actually, Star United, one of the big things that they like to do is they like to flex between jungle and top, so that you might see an early Malphite or Mundo. And depending on what the matchup is in top, then they might flex that to jungle.
Yeah, Preservance is a very good AD carry in the running for the Noxian Division All-Star, like MVP. Just, very good AD carry. And the top lane switching thing is definitely something they do. They do it like every game. They blind pick something that you can play top or jungle, and then see if they get a good or bad matchup, and then either play it top or jungle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely think that Star United is they're probably one of the better teams that uses flex picks that I've seen in pretty much any division. They do a good job with their type of flex picks. And it might actually work pretty well for them because the top laner for Enigma, Hyaris, he tends to like to go towards the tanks, the Cho'Gaths, the Malphites, things like that. He does have a Vayne game, though, so that might be... He can spice things up if he needs to.
Yeah, but you really don't want to play the Mundo or into a Vayne. It's probably one of the worst matchups in the game.
Yep.
And, you end up with a really fed Vayne who carries the game 1v5 or whatever, kills him. And then you lose because you fed a Vayne. And that's kind of just a win condition by itself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's really hard to come back from a Vayne obnoxiously large amount of kills.
Yeah, I was actually thinking that a Vayne pickup could be pretty good because Enigma can flex that top or bot. The problem is the Perseverance tends to like to play really aggro AD carries. His 2 most played champions are the Lucian and the Draven. So you got to be really careful picking a Vayne into one of those matchups.
Picking Vayne into Lucian is very unpleasant.
Yeah.
I mean, there is, support picks and stuff, but also picking Vayne into most ranged AD carries is kind of unpleasant too. Like, picking Vayne into a Caitlyn is really unpleasant because you just get poked out. Vayne really does require a good engaged support to kind of get the Vayne some, ahead and started. Kind of like a Draven in a way.
Yep.
Different because Draven is a good early game, Vayne is a late game, but they really do require the hard engage.
Yeah, so I see that the first ban coming out from Star United is Cho'Gath, which is Hyaris' most played champ by a lot. He's got almost 60 games on Cho'Gath, and his next most played in ranked is Garen at 11 games.
Enigma did not ban anything.
Yep, looks like they missed the ban. Okay. So we just got... Go ahead.
They're using a higher ranked sub, so they lose their first 3 bans.
So that's going to be interesting. So Stars United is going to pretty much have their pick on whatever they want. The second ban is the Morgana, which is Monumental Kill's most played support.
Just
But he
banning
has
out the
been
comfort pick.
he's been favoring the Sona a lot too. The only other two major comfort picks would be the Xin Zhao and the Caitlyn. So I'd expect potentially either a Xin Zhao or a Caitlyn ban here, unless they want to keep targeting the Mundo. That's an interesting ban.
Yeah, we thought they would pick Mundo.
Yeah,
But
potentially
no,
they would. Yeah, that's weird thing. They potentially would pick the Mundo.
they
They
clearly
might go
don't want
for.
to.
Go ahead.
They clearly don't want to pick the Mundo because they ban it. But Mundo's just one of the best junglers right now. And he's
Mm-hmm.
kind of hard to stop unless you have something with, lots of max HP damage or like tank shred. He
Yeah, and
really can't be killed by conventional means.
Mundo can be really good into AP comps, like teams that have multiple AP threats, since he's really strong. He gets a lot of magic resist. And his kit just synergizes really well with Spirit Visage and Warmogs. Ooh,
Ooh,
and
is
the
that a
first
cannon?
pick cannon. Yeah, they've been favoring this cannon in top lane a lot.
Ooh, is
But
that
they
a
decided to go
Zinza?
for the Xin Zhao instead. So that's a steal away from AJ. He's the jungler for Enigma. Xin Zhao is his most played champion by far, and he's picked it up 4 times in Steel matches.
So a steal and then banning away mains and then Mundo because meta jungle. Looks
Yeah,
like
so
the
I'm kind of
Nautilus.
curious if they have something prepared for the Caitlyn, because that's what I think Enigma would go towards to be a Caitlyn pickup.
Yeah, they're going for the Nautilus.
Nautilus can be flex, but I don't see that.
I
Monumental
don't
Kill
think
has
they'll.
played a little bit of Nautilus in support, so most likely support.
Yeah, I think the Nautilus is support, and Nautilus doesn't really have any truly awful matchups.
Mm-hmm.
He's just kind of a CC bot.
Yep. The Caitlyn comes out, so strong linear. Definitely ace in the crowd's most played 80 carry in the Seal matches this season.
Lucian?
Yeah, Lucian coming out. And I expect a support pick coming out for Star United here. They go for the Zillion, but they normally play Zillion in mid. I've noticed.
That's probably a mid laner.
Yeah, but I guess they probably could. They could flex it to.
It's a flex pick.
It's a flex pick.
Flex pick.
I only see a little bit of Zillion in Bunny's match history, who's their support.
I assume it's mid. A Poppy? Okay. I mean, I guess that's probably top lane. Could be jungle,
though. Makes most sense to put it in top lane. Curious whether they decide to go for that, because usually Poppy is the best when you have you see multiple diving style champions.
Yeah, I mean Xin Zhao can dash on you, but not like.
So good job betting at the cannon. I think that's obviously what they wanted. They were thinking about going towards some top lane. The only other champions that Emerald has played top lane this season for Seal games has been Pantheon and then a few tank games. Yeah, they banned out the Malphite. That's another one that they've flexed in the past. But obviously with Xin Zhao logged in.
Into Poppy, you'd want to play like Garen or Darius normally.
Yeah, someone who doesn't have a dash. Yeah.
Yeah, no dashes, and Poppy really can only melee people. Olaf ban. Probably wanting to guarantee their Xin Zhao's good early game.
Yeah, so actually the Olaf is also a takeaway from AJ. So after Xin Zhao, Olaf is his most played in Steel games. So they're trying to put the jungler onto something he's not very comfortable with. Okay. Potentially might see a Rammus pickup from the jungler. That's his third most played champion.
And Rammus would be good against Xin.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a Fiora, so Poppy's probably jungle.
Yeah, Poppy's probably jungle. This is going to be interesting because they played the Fiora, I think, last time, but I guess their top laner was different. But they didn't do too well, I think, the last time they played Fiora into Stars United. So yeah, it looks like it's going to be a Poppy jungle, which is pretty interesting. It's definitely a more unconventional pick.
Poppy can jungle, but it's not like Ziggs and Thresh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh. Huh?
So that might be the Lucian going top lane.
I'm
I'm
Zillion
confused
top?
at this point. I'm
I don't know
definitely
what they're
confused at
doing.
this point. Yeah, they definitely threw us for a loop because Zillion and Ziggs are both not very good top laners. They used to be meta to run Ziggs bot lane.
Yeah. They
And the
could be
last pickup
running.
is going to be the
I
Rise.
I remember a couple of people playing like Klepto Zillion with the slow max, and they just
Mhm.
max low and Klepto farm people obnoxiously. That was like there were a bunch of people in like they had their own like subreddit to do that. There were a bunch of like diamond players who didn't belong there because they used that cheap strategy.
Yeah.
Oh,
So another very interesting draft coming up from Stars United. They
yeah.
tend to do this. They like to go for really wacky drafts and then try to just make it work. Um, they just try to make it work by I think a lot of the way that they win is they go for things that their opponents aren't expecting, and they try to exploit their opponents on matchups that maybe they're not familiar with. Enigma plays much more standard and kind of squares up. But it's kind of interesting the matchups that we have right now because Enigma has drafted a pretty strong 1-3-1 composition with the Fiora and the Rise.
Yeah.
Stars United has gone kind of for a weird composition. They've got some decent poke damage in the Zillion and the Ziggs, but then they've got decent catch potential with the Thresh and the Zinzao.
And
So
they
it looks
have a
like kind
lot
of
of heal with between Ziggs throwing out some mines, throwing out some bombs, Thresh,
yeah,
peeling someone off, and Zillion double bomb and slow. Also, Xin Zhao has some CC too, and he can front line. He can also
yeah,
knock
but
people back. So
mhm.
I think Stars United might run for like just kind of camping out in mid lane and kind of stopping the enemy engage on. Enigma kind
Yep.
of lacks too much hard engage outside the Nautilus.
Yeah, I don't think Enigma wants to fight though. They're drafting a 1-3-1. They can pressure all three lanes. All they have to do is hold mid lane with
Yeah,
the Nautilus, Caitlyn, Poppy, and then
yeah,
nobody I think can really answer the Fiora or the Rise in the split push unless Fiora and Rise fall really far behind.
yeah. I mean, Xin Zhao could beat either one of them if he gets ahead and they fall behind.
But
But
Zinzao will fall off late game. He's really, really strong early, but
yeah,
the Fiora will outscale him, and so will the Rise.
yes, they will definitely.
So I think that the plan for Stars United is that they don't have. I mean, unless Thresh is godlike and he lands a lot of hooks, their engage potential is a bit weak. But you're right;
Yeah,
they have very good peel. They have very good like counter engage. They're very good at stopping the engage of an opponent. So if I was Stars United, I would definitely want to try to bait Enigma into fights around Drakes, around Rift
yeah.
Herald, around Baron, that type of stuff.
Also, the poke for Stars United. I mean, a Ziggs and a Zillion can kind of really nail anyone, even if they're sitting under tower. Like they'll
Yep.
just have to kind of back up. I mean, yeah, Ziggs outranges most other champions in the game by a lot.
hmm And
And
Ziggs is able to take towers very fast with
yes,
his satchel
so
charge.
I can easily see a base race occurring in this game where
hmm
Stars United try to plow up mid lane while Enigma try to go down the side lane.
Yep. I think
And
that's definitely a real possibility.
the Zillion, I think, is being played top lane.
Yep. It's been locked in top lane for Emerald. So, yeah, that's where we're expecting it's going to go. So, very interesting. We'll have a Zillion into a Fiora matchup. I'm assuming he's going to go Klepto. That seems like the only.
Yeah, I think
Oh,
he's going to go Klepto and try to farm off the Aura to get to late game fast.
yep.
A late game Zillion is a kind of a menace.
Yeah, if he gets a few AP items, his double bombs really start to hurt.
Yeah, definitely. And just and Zillion scales super hard off of level. If he's just able to kind of stay in lane, get to late game. real menace.
Yeah, and having the Zillion in the composition also makes it so that dives are definitely a huge possibility. So if the Thresh lands a hook, or if
Yeah,
the Xin Zhao is able to flank behind, they could dive the towers relatively easily and use the Zillion ultimate to basically be a turret reset.
yeah, they can just save from someone from dying. Like if the Xin goes really aggressive to get a kill, he can just be saved. Or if they dive really hard and kill the Ziggs or something, just survive.
Yep.
It's kind of hard to catch. Again, it's harder to catch out Stars United because of both all the peel and just resurrection. Like I really doubt Enigma will be able to catch them out at all.
Yeah.
But
Though, go ahead.
I don't really see this being like a team fight centric game. I don't
No,
think
I don't see so either. Yeah.
No, neither team has really drafted a comp where they actually want to team fight. I mean, they might do it around an objective, but these really aren't, aggressive compositions in, fight setting.
Yeah. I think that the most important abilities are going to be actually probably the Zillion ultimate and the Poppy ultimate, because both of them provide really important tools for their teams. The Zillion ultimate basically can deny a kill on because their entire team is very squishy. Yeah. And the Poppy ultimate is one of the best anti-dive tools in the game. So if Stars United tries to go for a dive on tower, if Poppy hits her ultimate on multiple people, that can pretty much stuff any dive attempt.
Definitely. And summoners are normal. Teleport for mid lane. Peel for bot, ignite for port, teleport for top, and of course, jungler stakes smite. So no funny summoner business here.
Nope. Yeah, nothing too abnormal besides a Zillion top lane coming out. Very curious that they decided to flex that to top lane. But hey, whatever. Yeah. If it works, right?
Zillion top is sort of viable, but it's a really weird, annoying playstyle that lots of people make it work in diamond stuff. So, man, it's viable. Hopefully, it gets nerfed to oblivion with the Klepto.
Yeah, the Klepto changes are definitely going to hurt a lot of these ranged top laners.
I don't like ranged top laners. So,
yeah.
Yay, kill ranged top. At least most of them.
They're definitely setting up season 10 to be top lane centric and mid lane centric with a lot of the nerfs and buffs that are going on. There's going to be a lot more split pushing in season 10. I have a feeling.
No, I mean, I see buffs to specific champions that I play. Like I see this as a big Shen buff. Being able to, if being able to get levels faster, and being able to just TP across the map for objectives, a split, and just Shen, the AD carry won't be able to stop the Shen split pushing now as much. That was something that would happen. You'd send your mid laner or AD carry to stop the Shen, and they could just use wave clear if they have kind of stop that. But now with the level increase, I think solo lanes impactful and objective are going to be important. Ports get a free item though, so they're not going to be hit that hard. They're going to have slightly less XP, but they're going to get more gold. But
it's going to free up supports to go for early boots too. So I think Rumble supports are going to be more popular.
Yes, you can see your support show up wherever and try to kill the laner. Maybe they'll show up with the jungler and tower dive and try to take all the tower play.
Yep. So we've got about a minute left before we can actually get into the game. So which draft do you like better for each team?
I mean, Enigma's is certainly more standard, and they have a more standard winning. But I think their draft is probably better in that sense. But I do think Stars United has generated more winning matchups. Ziggs into Ryze is a good matchup. I don't really know about Dillian, I mean, I think he's as good into Fiora as he is good into anything. You know, Xin Zhao, Poppy can't match Xin Zhao early, even if Xin Zhao just won't dash when close to Poppy. So that's kind of
Yeah.
a. But like Xin Zhao beats Poppy in a 1v1. You
Hmm.
know,
Yeah,
Lucian
I definitely
Thresh.
think that on the side of Enigma, the later this game goes, the more it favors them. I definitely think that Stars United has drafted a composition where they need to win lane for sure.
Yes, they do. They
Um,
need to win lanes. They need to get ahead so they can both stop the Fiora and execute tower dives,
yep.
or tower, clearing. They have to knock down turrets quickly. Although
Yeah, so
they
I'm
certainly
looking
have
really
the tools to
closely
do
at
that.
Soul Reaver. Soul Reaver is kind of the person I'm looking at. He's played the Xin Zhao early game jungler. I feel like he's got to really impact the map early and get a couple of his lanes ahead. It's a lot harder to execute ganks with a Poppy than it is with a Xin Zhao.
Yeah. No, I see. Yes, Poppy's ganks are kind of tragic. That's why Poppy's not a jungler. Also, Poppy went electric.
Poppy
So
went Electrocute, Xin Zhao went Hail of Blades, and Zillion went for Glacial Augment instead of Kleptomancy.
yeah. Okay, Glacial. Well, this Fiora will never kill the Zillion. Kinda already know that.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to go for the you never get to have fun, you never get to move type of build.
Yes, I
Um,
slow you. You continue being slowed. You're now
yeah.
stunned. You're just permanently CC'd forever.
Yep. And his W is actually a really powerful slow as well. It's definitely underestimated.
Yeah, for sure. Or a speed up.
Yeah. And then Caitlyn actually went for Fleet Footwork. So it looks
Okay.
like she's playing more for laning phase, trying to out sustain the Lucian.
Yeah. No, I see the Lucian wanting to go all in while the Caitlyn wants to, get poke off.
Yep.
But both of those champions have pretty decent early games. It's just kind of poke versus all in. And Nautilus and Thresher, somewhat similar champions. They both rely on hitting that hook. They're both basically just CC bots. Thresh having some more utility and Nautilus having his shield.
Yep. Having a little bit more tankiness under his belt.
Yeah, although all Nautilus really has to be tanky is that shield. Like, he doesn't have bonus resistances or something like a Leona. Like, he kind of falls off in terms of tankiness late game compared to, a Leona, a Scion, those
Mm-hmm.
sorts of things.
Yeah, because
Like, the
he doesn't get
C.
resistances with the shield. He just gets like a percent of his maximum health.
Yeah, and, once somebody buys Bork, it doesn't really do that much good.
All right, I just want to make sure we're synced up. I'm at 33, 34, 35 seconds.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right, so both teams just standard 5 point. Poppy looks like she's going to try and get a ward down.
she does. Zen autos it a couple times. Yeah, standard 5 point, no shenanigans. Poppy's backing, hopefully for red ward.
Yep.
Yes, Poppy puts the ward down and then backs for red ward. That's like high elo jungle stuff. That's really cool to see,
Mm-hmm.
especially in a Nox game.
So it looks like both junglers are going to start red side. It's going to be interesting to see if the Caitlyn Nautilus try to go for a fake leash or if they just go straight to lane.
Yeah. Fries and Ziggs both don't have great laning phases. I think this will probably just be a farm lane, more or less. I mean, Ziggs will try to poke out the Rise a little bit, but probably won't, kill him.
Yeah, I definitely think that if anybody has kill pressure, it's probably the Ziggs, just because he has the potential to outpoke. But yeah, I agree with you. It's probably most likely just going to be a farm lane.
Both junglers doing Krugs.
I think Fiora missed a little bit of experience. I think she got to lane a little bit late.
That could be rough.
So we want to look to see if Zillion hits level 2 before the Fiora.
Yes.
Yeah, Zillion hits level 2 first.
So he's pushed the wave.
Hmm.
Yeah, nothing. The Zin's not going for that early gank because the other team got level 2 first.
Since that looks like he's going in for a potential invade onto the blue buff, Poppy could trade and we go into vertical jungling.
Yeah, but do they know?
Yeah, he walked over a ward. They saw him. She's still going that way, though.
Will the
They
Poppy
did ping
try,
it out.
Will the Poppy try to catch the Zen out? The Zen already stole it.
Hmm.
Nautilus coming up, but I think Zinzao's gonna make his great escape. Unless he...
He might be caught. He's kind of dilly-dallied a little bit too far there.
Yes,
Oh,
he has. He's caught out. And he goes down.
that's first blood. Double buffs going over to Nautilus.
Yeah. Poppy does flash. Yeah, that Zinzao dillied too long. He should have just taken the buff and ran.
Yep, looks like he got a little bit greedy, wanted to stick around for the Scuttle Crab. Didn't notice that his laners didn't have priority and that he needed to get out.
Yeah.
It's a pretty large wave stacking up in bot lane. They probably don't want to go for any type of fight. Poppy coming in for
Poppy
a gank.
trying to gank a Ziggs, but Poppy's gank's terrible and she just eats poke.
Yeah, it looks like there might be a drive-by to try and go to top Scuttle, but she's going to meet the Zinzao up there.
Zinzao engages.
Poppy wants nothing about with that.
Yeah, and just takes a bunch of damage and runs away.
Hmm. But I mean, so far the Poppy should be feeling pretty good. She got the bot crab, so at least she didn't get too crabbed against Zinzao.
Yeah,
she didn't get the blue buff stolen away, but they're roughly equal CS right now.
Yeah, the Poppy's not that badly behind. I mean, the loss of the buff is slightly annoying, but not really a big deal.
Hmm.
The Zillion not getting as good a farm as this Fiora, but farming with Zillion is real pain, so I understand that. His auto attacks are terrible. Like, that champion would probably be broken if he could farm with his auto attacks properly.
Yeah, definitely has a very slow auto attack animation.
The Zinzao looking to invade the Poppy again.
Yep, drops a pink ward. I love that ward location. Comes up,
and he's going to steal the Poppy's Krugs.
Yeah, and that's the second spawn of the Krugs too, so that's the one that gives the big experience.
Yeah. So Poppy is going to be set behind now. Poppy just leeching XP off Rise of the Wave. Going... Yeah, the Poppy is none the wiser. And Fiora may potentially get ganked.
Mm-hmm.
No. What is this inside doing? Any action? Poppy and Zin are gonna bump into each other. Zin
very interesting.
Steals Poppy's Raptor. The Ziggs is backing. This Zin might be caught, but there's a plant right there.
Yep, he's gonna get out.
So
very interesting that the Zinzao is prioritizing trying to like counter jungle the Poppy, but you can see that it's been kind of effective. But he's only got like a 4 CS lead right now, as opposed to ganking. I haven't seen really any ganks from the Zinzao yet,
or the Poppy for that matter. There's been no ganking at all. Like the laners have come to help their junglers rather than the other way around.
Yeah, there's been at least one attempt from the Poppy. It wasn't an amazing attempt, but it is a Poppy.
I don't even count that. The Poppy just like walked into lane and ate a Ziggs bomb.
Yep.
And a full Ziggs combo to the face. Without actually, well, Ziggs bomb, yeah, and the explosive, and walked over the E. So, yeah, eating a full Ziggs combo without actually even getting close to the Ziggs. So, I don't really count that positively. Like,
I mean, she blew some mana. I mean, that's positive, right?
yeah, on getting nailed.
Zig's ultimate goes down in mid lane. He's looking for the kill on the rise and gets it. Solo kill.
And is this Zinza looking for the gank, the invade? Invading
Looking like
again.
they might try to set up potentially for a dive.
Maybe. Although this Zinza just looks like he's stealing Gromp. And maybe wolves too. No, he's just sitting there.
Yeah, they're looking potentially for a blue buff steal. It is
Yeah, they want to
spawning
get the
pretty
Ziggs
soon.
the blue buff.
That's a lot of time wasted.
Ooh.
Caitlyn is caught.
Caitlyn's very caught and flashes away, but is Ziggs caught? If Fiora he's down.
So Fiora TP'd down. That's going to wind up being 2 kills going over to the side of Enigma. That shall be the go button for them to start up this Mountain Drake.
Yeah.
Very interesting that they're being really slow with this. They need to...
You can't puff around with the Drake. Like, they reset it.
Yep. Just clear out the pink ward in the back. There you go.
Maybe they're worried about being Lucian ulted, but... Ooh!
Lucian winds up
Yeah,
getting a kill
they
over the
probably
wall.
should be worried.
And
Lucian
wow, Zinzao gets the steal
Dragon.
as well.
And they shut down. Lucian gets a triple.
So I think the main critique I would have given to that is I think they were a little bit too indecisive. They took a lot of damage from the
It
Drake.
took forever just eating the Drake's damage. Like,
Yep.
they failed to decide whether to do the Drake or not, and they let the enemy team set up and let themselves eat all the Drake damage. And get low, and then Lucian just killed them all.
Yep. And now Lucian with 3 kills. He hasn't reset yet for the gold, but when he comes back to lane, he's going to be an absolute menace.
Yeah, he also has red buff.
Fiora looks like she's trying to go in a little bit.
Yeah, Fiora can't kill the Zillion. Don't think.
She's going for it. She just blew her flash. She's maybe
And
1 auto away. Procs the ultimate.
Fiora does proc the ultimate, but she's now really low, and Zillion's is almost full HP. So maybe some action going on? Smash is sitting in this, sitting right here, but the Rise is being pushed back by the Ziggs, who has a 2-level lead, and the Thresh isn't accomplishing anything by sitting there.
Looks like he was trying to anticipate if the Ziggs was going to go, or sorry, the Rise is going to go aggro, but Rise is content to just farm out this lane.
Yeah, he's behind. Like, if he goes aggro, he's going to get killed.
Poppy misses the wall stun. Trading with the Xin. Winds up missing the ultimate. Zinzao's got a level lead onto the Poppy. So Poppy gets out. Winds up having to spend her ultimate, but doesn't
Then
have to
coming
flash.
back in. And just steals the big Drake.
So the Zinzao is starting to put in a little bit of work. He's got a significant CS lead now onto the Poppy. His invading is actually starting to pay off a little bit. That said, this Poppy, she doesn't need that much gold or that much levels to be effective.
No. Poppy is invading, but doesn't actually do anything. It's just kind of wasting time again.
Well, she was checking buffs.
Yes.
So she wasn't wasting time, she was checking buffs.
True. Zinzao displays that he's taking the Rift Herald before he actually clears the ward.
So they know he's taking the Rift Herald, but the real question is, do they want to try to contest it? We got an all-in fight going on in bot lane. Thresh is a bit far forward, winds up burning the Ignite, but Caitlyn still has a decent amount of health, so she should be able to stay in lane. Looks like Fiora's going to try and get this Zinzao off of Rift Herald. And I think that she's making the right call to have it reset.
That's worked out. They've managed to prevent the Xin from taking Herald.
Yeah, she
don't
did
really-
have to sack quite a bit of farm to the tower, though. So
Yeah.
that definitely is a negative.
Copy.
But I think that's probably a trade that I'd want to take. Get them off of the Rift Herald.
Xin,
At least until the plates fall. You basically want to try and stall at that Rift Herald until
Brazilian
the
runs
plates
away and actually goes aggro. The Poppy might get caught here.
fall. No, I think they're just trying to zone Brazilian away from farm.
Yeah, Xin is sitting in this warded bush, so I think they might be trying to collapse.
Hmm.
Yeah, this Fiora.
I think she's going to be able to get out.
Ooh, Zig's ulti comes in, misses completely. Poppy only throws the Ziggs far away.
Oh, great riposte by the Fiora. She winds up getting the kill. Ziggs flashes in. I think they just want to disengage now. There's no reason to
Yeah.
continue this fight. Let the Ryze get a good push on. So yeah, that was a good trade from Enigma. You get a kill onto your Fiora, and yeah, you don't really lose any farm. Your Ryze gets a little bit
this
more
Ryze gets
tower
some
plates.
farm. The Ryze has been really kind of under farmed
Hmm.
and under leveled. Like he's just kind of been pushed out a lane by the Ziggs folk.
Yep. That said, the gold lead is only 1,000 right now, and as we were saying before the game started, Enigma they're pretty comfortable the later this game goes, and I don't know if 1,000 gold lead is enough for Stars United.
No, it's nice, and I mean it is on the right people. It's on the Lucian. It's on the Ziggs. But still, like the Lucian hasn't been able to translate those 3 kills.
Nautilus
in
might get
one.
caught.
He
Forces the
flashes.
flash. Yep.
I think they're gonna set up for Drake here. They have the
Yeah, it's
lane
another
push.
mountain which plays really well into their win conditions because they want to be sieging.
Poppy gets chased off. Then they're not gonna go for the Lucian's backing.
Yeah, Lucian's got a decent amount of gold, so it looks like they want to just try and force Enigma off the Drake, allow the Lucian to get a reset. He just finished his Essence Reaver, which is a pretty big completion, and they'll try to fight once he comes back out onto the field.
Yes, this Ryze is continually being taken low by the Ziggs folk. He just has absolutely no lane priority.
Yeah, he won't for a while. Ryze doesn't really get scary into the late game, and especially since he's down about 50 CS.
50
it's gonna
CS
be a
and 2
while.
levels.
Yeah, it's gonna be a while before he really comes online.
Yeah, def. This Nautilus, he gonna get caught?
That's a TP coming in from the Fiora. Poppy is able to knock the Xin Zhao out. Thresh is caught. There should be a kill onto the Thresh.
Yeah, Thresh gets
Zillion
caught.
does have ultimate, or Zillion does have TP if he wants to try and match this. I think yeah, if you're on the side of Enigma, you just want to disengage.
They got their pick. They want to go back up and defend top.
Yeah, it looks like they
take.
might be going towards Rift Herald potentially as well.
Yeah. I think they're just trying to get the Zillion to back off that tower. Yeah, they are. The Poppy's on the Rift Herald. And Zillion caught Poppy.
Yep. But the Xin Zhao's bot side, so the Zillion can kind of stall them, but Enigma should be able to get this Rift Herald. That's a flash in from the Xin Zhao, knocks the Nautilus back, forces the flash out from the Caitlyn. And actually pretty well played by Enigma. They get out, they wind up having to burn the flash on the Caitlyn and the heal.
The Poppy and Fiora are forced off the Rift Herald by the Zillion. In the meantime,
this Fiora's starting to really hurt the Zillion. Fortunately, she can't take too many tower shots, and as long as Zillion has ultimate up, it's going to be very hard for Fiora. It's going to take a long time for Fiora to get the solo kill. Let's put it that way. So it gives Stars United a lot of time to rotate to try and stop the Fiora.
the Poppy is back on the Rift Herald, and Blue team slays the dragon. They're looking to trade objectives.
I think this is a good trade if you're on the side of Enigma. You're not really at a point in the game where you can really contest Stars United at any neutral objective. So if you can steal away the Rift Herald and make sure that they don't get it, that denies them their potential win condition of like being able to quickly knock down these outer towers.
Yeah. Although with 2 mountains, taking Baron will take a very short amount of time.
The problem is they don't have any tanks to take Baron, so Baron's going to do a lot of damage to them.
Yeah. But that is true. They don't have tanks, and they don't have an enchanter to heal them. It's not like they have a Soraka and a pseudo tank for somebody else.
Thresh is looking for a dive right now. He winds up landing the box and the play. Caitlyn goes down. Question if Thresh can get out. Yep. That's a TP coming in from the Rise. I think the Lucian's caught. That might be a shutdown. They want to try and give this over to the Rise if possible. And they do. Very good job. So give the Rise that shutdown kill. That's really important. That allows Rise to get back into this game.
Definitely.
Xin Zhao's continuing to try and come up here to gank the Fiora, but the Fiora's been doing a really good job escaping from these ganks. No deaths on the day so far.
So this has been a pretty slow game in terms of pacing.
Yeah,
certainly not a fiesta.
Nope. And I think that definitely favors Enigma. Enigma definitely wants the slow game. They're dropping the Rift Herald in bot lane. They might be able to get this tower.
Maybe. So they're gonna start eating minion aggro right now. No,
the Rift Herald will take it.
Yeah, the Rift Herald will take it. Thresh is here. Lucian is coming. Do they want to
kill the Rift Herald? They did a lot of damage on the tower. Tower goes down actually to minions.
Yeah.
So that's first tower of the game going over to Enigma. Xin Zhao coming in. Good flash by Rise. Yeah, that was actually a really good preemptive flash by Rise. He knew that the Xin Zhao was going to go in on him. And now that the Xin Zhao is shown, Fiora's going aggro in top lane. So trade mid tower for bot lane tower, and they're going all in on the Caitlyn. And yep. Caitlyn
that Nautilus needs to stay in lane.
Yeah, so the reason why he went up is because they were continuing to push mid, so he was trying to relieve pressure mid.
Ooh, Poppy gets caught, and are they gonna? They're not gonna dive the Nautilus.
I mean, to be fair, that was a great hook by the Thresh over the wall. He did actually a really good job with that.
Yes. No, they all just landed their CC, and Poppy got killed. Ziggs has taken the tower.
So yeah, that's 2 towers going down to mid lane. So that really unlocks the map for Stars United and allows the Xin Zhao to invade a lot more onto this Poppy. He's already struggling a bit.
And this Rise will have more trouble getting farm. Like, if he walks up, he can just kill.
Yep.
A random Xin Zhao walks. Xin Zhao and Thresh walk out of a bush. You die. And he already used Flash. So, he's gonna have to be safe for a while.
So I think that you can officially say that laning phase... Yeah. But laning phase is definitely over, so I think they definitely want to move this Caitlyn into mid lane.
Definitely.
And probably put the Rise into the side lane. Thresh is going hyper aggro again. Steps on a trap. Good evasion by the Caitlyn. They wind up using Nautilus ultimate onto Lucian. Lucian's going to go down if he gets hit with one more ability. Winds up getting lanterned out. Caitlyn forced the flash.
Ziggs bot lane now. He's just going to blow up the tower.
Yep. So Rise needs to counter push as hard as he can. Try to get as much damage on tower, but Ziggs is going to use the TP. Fiora's going all in for this. That's the Zillion ultimate down. She's going to wind up going down. Yep.
Yeah. Fiora just... I think this is the idea of the Zillion pick. They just kind of can't really kill the Zillion.
Well, eventually the Fiora will be able to. She just needs to be a little bit more patient and wait until she's got at least 2 items.
Yes. And the Zillion isn't sitting under a tower. Because, I mean, Zillion has enough slows. This Poppy getting caught.
Yep, Lucian able to dodge
Grounded.
the
Poppy ults and flashes to get away.
Ooh, the Ryze should be able to take this against the Zillion. Oh, sorry, against the Ziggs.
Yeah, especially if Dauntless helps. Ooh, he missed.
So Lucian's doing a really good job kind of accelerating his gold advantage. He's 7-1 right now. He's got 2 completed items. Definitely the most fed member in the game right now. And actually, I really like that they're matching him up against the Fiora. Because he's so far ahead, he probably can duel the Fiora.
Definitely. He's about to solo kill this Fiora. Ooh, no. Fiora gets away on...
Great job of the Fiora to get out. Times the rip post.
Getting away
perfectly.
On 20 HP.
Yep.
But the pressure is still there. Like, the Fiora can't... No one can fight the Lucian.
Yeah, I agree. And the Fiora's not really helping herself. If you look at her itemization, we've got a Tiamat, we've got a Phage, we've got a Merc Treads, we've got a Vamp Scepter, a Pickaxe,
what is the Fiora
stopwatch. She looks like she's going for 3 items simultaneously, which is not optimal. I definitely would recommend
this
she goes
Ryze is now almost dead.
Item. But the Lucian's being a bit of aggressive. He is getting caught. He drops a vision, winds up getting the shutdown, goes to the Ryze, so Ryze gets another shutdown kill on the Lucian. That's pretty big. Great repose from the Fiora, pops the ultimate, winds up going to the stopwatch. That's a Zillion ultimate down. They can stall out the Zillion ultimate. This could be really good. Nope, they don't. But it should be Xin Zhao still going down, potentially. Yeah, and Poppy and Nautilus just way too tanky.
Ooh!
Double kill from the Ziggs.
Double kill and a turret! That was fast. This Ziggs just got paid out. That was like 1,000 gold, like right there. The Ziggs just earned.
So,
this
Enigma, they need to slow down the game. Stars United is really starting to accelerate, and they need to find a way to slow it down a little bit.
They can't leave the Ziggs alone with the tower. Also, they have 3 Mountain Drakes. Like, the towers are just gonna get melted.
And yeah, this is definitely the RNG of the Drakes is really favoring Stars
that
United
tower
right
dies
now.
quickly.
Ooh, mistimed the satchel charge just a little bit. Doesn't get the execute on the tower, unfortunately.
But just having the tower with an execute range, kind of some Baron posturing. The Poppy.
And Lucian winds up getting the kill.
Which way does the Poppy still kill? Ziggs.
Look at the Ziggs gonna go down though. Yep.
Shut down.
Good repose by the Fiora again. Xin Zhao pops his ultimate. He's also got the Zillion ultimate on him. Nautilus looks like he's gonna go down. There's the Lucian ultimate.
Mostly eating minions.
They still got some pretty good wave clear between the Ryze and the Caitlyn. They got enough wave clear that they can push them off of this tower.
They're able to kind of hold things together. But the gold lead is pretty significant at this point. I mean, it's 6,000 gold.
Yeah.
And it's a 3 Drake advantage, too. Like, that's also pretty significant.
Yeah, and the fact that they're 3 Mountain Drakes is just really...
Yes, like, the Baron threat is intense.
Yep.
I mean, they could probably bear it in a very, very short amount of time. Like, maybe the amount of time it takes their team to base and then walk back to Baron.
Yep, and they do have pretty much full Baron control right now. They got the pink ward in the pit. Xin Zhao's caught up. He does have a blast coming to get away.
Ooh.
Oh, winds up getting stopped. Great job by the Poppy. Oh,
Ziggs.
Xin is doing work right now. Jesus.
Boom! That Ziggs is fed. Ouch.
Wow, so Xin Zhao turns it around with the help of the Ziggs, with the Ziggs ultimate.
I think this
that
is
might
Baron.
be the... Yeah, this should be Baron. There's no jungler to contest, and the Fiora is down.
Ryze is forced to TP out. Because he was trapped between them. Boom! That was incredibly fast.
Yep. And you got an Infernal Drake spawning in 35 seconds, so that's probably going to be the next objective that they're looking to take. Because Xin Zhao could actually just solo that out while they're trying to push the waves.
Definitely. Yes. This Ziggs is starting to really hurt. And same with Lucian, like, Lucian has so much damage at this point.
Yep.
I mean, he has, what is it? He has 3+ items.
Yeah, he's a full item ahead of the Caitlyn right now, and Caitlyn's in her power trough. Like once Caitlyn needs to get like 3-4 items before she starts really becoming a threat again.
Yes.
She's very good in laning phase, but her
And
mid
she's
game
very
slump
good
is
late
kind
game.
of
But yeah, her mid game, she just doesn't have the damage.
So there have been some high elo Caitlyn players who've been saying that one way that you can kind of negate the null. Oh, never mind. Poppy's gonna get caught. Good thresh hook. That's the ultimate going down again.
Ziggs finishes it off.
But one of the ways you can negate the Caitlyn mid game slump is get an early rapid cloak. Oh, Xin Zhao going in deep right now, forcing the Rise to flash out. And yeah, this is what you're talking about. As long as the Zillion ultimate is up, they can pretty much dive this however long they want. And whoever gets low first can wind up with the Zillion ultimate.
Could they end here?
They could, yeah, if they want to push it. They've got 2 open inhibitors. And they do have a double cannon stacked up. Actually, triple cannon now with the mid lane coming in.
Ooh, that Ziggs does so much damage.
Yep. Poppy's trying to knock people away. Winds up getting a few minions away. That's the Zillion ultimate going down on the Ziggs. So they've stalled out at least for a little bit, but the Nexus is exposed. And Stars United winds up taking game 1.
Good old-fashioned win by taking all the objectives.
Yeah, I definitely think that was a case of Stars United. They bet on the early game, they bet on the lane phase, and that bet paid off. And unfortunately, Enigma wasn't able to slow down the game long enough in order to get their scaling. Rise went for a really, really greedy build. He went for like the most scaling build you can, which is the tier into Roa build. And then Caitlyn had some issues once that Lucian got 3 kills, and she wound up being really far behind, not able to really contest much of all. And the Fiora was doing pretty well in the early game, but I made a few mistakes, I think, especially with like build path, that I think kind of didn't allow her to really get as far ahead as she probably could have.
And the fact that Poppy negated about 1 dash the whole game, I mean, why? Like, why play that champion? Poppy was 3 levels behind, mostly due to the fact that Xin Zhao could come in and steal Poppy's buff kind of at will.
Yep.
Like, I mean, Poppy just doesn't offer very much as a jungler. Like, even there are plenty of other junglers, like the Zac, the Nunu, the Mundo, the Rammus, those kind of tank junglers just offer way more than a Poppy.
True, but Poppy's real advantage is the disengage potential. And they were trying to set up the 1-3-1. I don't really mind the Poppy pick at all. I think it's just a problem of that they fell way too far behind in the early game. And they just didn't play conservative enough. They allowed them to really snowball the towers.
The problem with the Poppy there would be the lack of, like, Poppy does not ameliorate the lousy early.
Yeah.
Poppy kind of exacerbates.
Well, yeah, they bet on late game. You can see from the picks, like Fiora, Poppy, Rise, those are all late game champions. The only early game champion that they drafted was the Caitlyn. So
yeah. Yes, they did bet on late game and they didn't work out.
Yep.
Ziggs and Lucian do tons of damage. Kind of the summary there. And for vision score, the Thresh gets the Nautilus does not ward enough. The Nautilus ought to ward more, getting beat out by the Poppy and the Rise for vision score, as well as like the whole enemy team except the Zillion by 1 point. It's just really disappointing. Like, Nautilus has free wards. Use them.
Yep. All right, I think we're gonna take a break and we'll come back for game 2.
Okay.
Okay. Welcome to Game 2 between Enigma and Stars United. We will be doing Game 2. They're getting into the ban phase right now. So let's hop back to it.
Yeah, so definitely what I want to see out of Enigma in this draft phase is you definitely want to have at least one winning lane. I think the big issue they ran into last match is they didn't have any lanes that were like clear advantages. They had what I perceived to be like one losing lane and two lanes that were kind of neutral at best. And then obviously their jungler was more of a scaling jungler than the Xin Zhao on the side of Stars United. So I definitely think that they need to use this draft to get at least one lane that they know that they can smash. And I would actually expect them to potentially pick up the Xin Zhao first pick, since that's AJ's like number one jungler that he plays.
Yeah, they need to get lane prio somewhere. Because even if you're a scaling pick, like you need it somewhere, even if you're a scaling comp. Otherwise, you lose every objective.
Yep.
And, it's hard to outscale losing every objective.
Yeah, you need somebody. You need something to stall, basically.
Yeah, you need something to kind of prevent your team from just being, pushed over.
Yep.
Like what happened with that Ziggs killed all the towers.
So they wind up first picking the Tristana, going more for Siege. So it's going to be interesting to see if Stars United tries to steal away the Xin Zhao again. Also to note that Justin Nuber has subbed in for Flaccid Bunny in support on the side of Stars United. So different champion pool for the Stars United support, potentially.
They take away the Xin again.
Yep, so take away the Xin Zhao again. It's going to be interesting to see if Enigma has a better counter pick to the Xin Zhao available. My guess is that they would want to prioritize the Olaf in the first pick phase. Because he got banned out last time.
And the Lucian. Katarina for Enigma.
Wow, the Katarina coming out really quick on the side of Enigma.
That's just asking to get counterpicked, though.
Yeah, that's very surprising that they decided to prioritize the Katarina so early in the draft.
I mean, SUC could go something like Renekton or Garen mid, and the Katarina just dies over and over again uselessly.
Unfortunately, I don't think he really has that many. He doesn't have those champs in his champ pool, to my knowledge.
Yeah, that might be why they're trying to do it. Like, I mean, if he can't play a bruiser, Katarina might be pretty good. But even other assassins, generally Katarina up early game. And the Thresh coming out, they're kind of SUC kind of going for a copy draft, at least to their bot and jungle, which I don't really blame them for. It worked last time.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that it's going to be really interesting to see what they do with these last two picks. Enigma looks like they're drafting a very strong team fighting comp. So game one, they drafted 1-3-1. Didn't work out for them. Now they're drafting Katarina and Mumu. That's a pretty strong team fighting comp.
The Fiora ban, but it doesn't generate winning lanes. Like, Amumu's ganks are honestly useless. And then Katarina...
Depends on how good of an Amumu you are.
Yeah, maybe, but just stand behind the minion. Like...
I mean, Amumu's real strength is Drake fights. Level 6 Drake fights.
Yeah.
And Enigma ran into that problem last game where they won the initial fight, and then they were too hesitant afterwards, and then they wound up actually losing the Drake.
Yes, giving Lucian that triple kill. And also losing the Drake.
Yep.
It kind of couldn't have gone worse.
I'd like to see a Ziggs ban with his last ban, because the Ziggs was very strong.
Yeah, and Ziggs can just screw with engages with his... Yeah, there it comes, Ziggs
I like
ban.
I like it. Very good adjustments coming out from Enigma. Stars United went to banning out the Fiora. Surprisingly, they banned the Fiora, even though it wasn't too much of a problem for them, and they banned the Blitzcrank, which
Malzahar. Okay,
Ooh.
Yeah, this is another reason why you don't pick Katarina, because Malzahar exists.
Yep. So the Malzahar pickup for mid lane, I definitely think that makes the Malzahar lane advantageous. And the Tristana into the Lucian, I think that favors the Lucian. So right now, Enigma still has two losing
Enigma still has the all
two
losing lanes and a late game jungler problem.
Yeah, they
It's-
need an early game jungler to round this composition out. Leona
Leona's-
definitely helps. The
Yeah,
level 2 all in from Leona Tristana is pretty strong.
Yeah, but Thresh Lucian is also really stronger, like level 2 fighting.
Mm-hmm.
So I see bot lane pretty early game focus, trying to get the priority
Yep.
for Drake, which totally makes sense. But the Xin Zhao can invade and kill the Amumu. Ooh, a misfortune.
Whoa! This is a Tristana top. It's Misfortune Leona bot. Oh,
Okay.
nice spicy changeup by Enigma. They pulled the Stars United with the flex pick, so the last moment wind up swapping the Tristana to top lane, Misfortune to bot lane. Misfortune has a pretty strong laning phase, and if Leona can land her CC, that sets up Misfortune extremely well. So Enigma drafting a ridiculous teamfight composition.
Okay.
This is this goes back to season 1. This is Curse of the Sad Bullet Time team composition. You run a Mumu and Misfortune, and you basically just, as soon as you land a Mumu ultimate, pop Misfortune ultimate, and follow that with a Katarina ultimate, a Leona ultimate. That's a lot of crowd control.
Yes. If Enigma gets to team fight, they'll just, knock Stars United over if they ever 5v5 team fight.
So the advantage for Stars United is Stars United has great pick potential. You look at their champions, they've got a lot of single target CC, a lot of single target burst damage. So if it's a straight up 5v5, Enigma wins. But if Stars United is able to catch somebody out before the fight starts and turn it into a 5v4, they're just dead. And that's how Stars United can wind up winning this game. They just never want a 5v5 team fight. They always want to get a pick before they start a fight.
Yeah. So what Enigma should do here is, when they're going to ward, they send a Leona and an Amumu together to ward. Like, they can't really get caught because they're both tanks.
Yeah.
Catching some tanks out is with, allies behind them is just called team fighting.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
that said, I do think that Leona may actually be tankier than the Amumu, at least in the early game. Because Leona does have access to a lot of extra resistance through her W.
Tankier than Amumu, I think, the whole game, to be honest. Leona's W is just kind of insane. Like, it's an absolute ton of resist for free. Like, it's kind of like having a Gargoyle Stone Plate.
Yeah, actually, Lock of the Iron Solari would be very useful in this game for Enigma. And I'm curious to see if Amumu is going to go full tank or if he's going to go into some damage. I've been seeing a lot of high elo Amumus going into Leandries and stuff, but there aren't that many tanks coming out on the side of Stars United. Only the Gnar.
And I don't know about Gnar into Tristana. I wouldn't really love it. What I might have liked to see against Tristana is something that can just, like, has a bunch of, like, a Jax or something. Something that can just kind of, like, lock down the Tristana.
Yeah, negate her all in, because the Tristana level 2 all in is pretty strong. As soon as she gets rocket jump, she basically rocket jump on top of your head, bursts you for half your health, resets her rocket jump, jumps back out again.
Yes, that combo.
It's going to be very interesting to see if the Tristana goes. So there's like a hyper aggro build that you can go. Where you go like Hail of Blades, Ignite. It's going to be interesting if he goes towards that or if he's going to go more towards a balanced build, which would be like press the attack.
Gnar is really annoying because Gnar can. I think Gnar is going to be annoying for Tristana because Gnar can also poke you out from range. And, like, catching a Gnar, Gnar can just jump out. Just like Tristana jumps in and Gnar jumps out.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what Gnar's range is.
Yeah, base range will matter a lot here. I think Gnar has higher base range. His base range is really high.
Mm-hmm.
And his, boomerang is like a million range.
Yeah, he does have some bonus movement speed.
Also, Gnar in Mega Form has an all-in opportunity. It's like 3 seconds of stun lock.
Yeah, but Tristana can negate that completely just with her ultimate.
Yeah. If the Tristana's ultimate timing correct, Tristana can just disengage the Gnar. This is
Mhm.
why you play Tristana in a solo lane, because it's kind of like Quinn, really hard to actually catch. As an AD carry, you can play an AD carry and can't really be engaged upon.
Yep.
Which is kind of unfair mechanically. Like, it's like intentionally broken.
Tristana is definitely, she's one of the safest AD carries in the game. She's one of my favorite AD carries in the game. So it's going to be really interesting to see if the Xin Zhao is able to impact this lane early, because I think that you feel pretty good. Malzahar to Katarina, you don't really need to gank that lane that much, and I think you're feeling pretty good with Lucian Thresh into Miss Fortune Leona. I think that the lane you want to impact the most is this Tristana lane, because if the Tristana gets ahead, she basically can just Goomba stomp you and kill you whenever she wants.
Yeah. Although I do see this bot lane, like Misfortune and Leona both have no escapes, so if they're overpushed, Zen can just jump on them and kill them.
Mm-hmm.
Like if they can't overpush, because again, neither of them has an escape. Like Thresh can, shove them off and then Lantern Lucian.
Yeah.
And,
Well, if last game is any it's the same. The Lucian Thresh was pushing very hard for most of that laning phase. I think Lucian Thresh will have the advantage until about level 6, but the level 6 all-in from Miss Fortune Leona is pretty legendary.
Yes.
As long as Leona can land some crowd control.
Misfortune Leona is the highest win rate bot duo for, like, the highest win rate together duo for, like, everything, like, silver, bronze, and iron by a lot, because it's so easy to execute.
Yep.
You just CC lock people in a Misfortune ult, and then they're dead.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I like the changes that are coming out on the side of the Enigma. They realize the 1-3-1 isn't working. They're going to a very easy to execute team fight style composition. Obviously, Stars United, they don't need to change much because they won last game. So you see the Xin Zhao, Lucian Thresh still all locked in. And they wind up going with Gnar and Malzahar because the Zillion and the Ziggs were banned out.
And I mean, Malzahar into Katarina is just oppressive. Like, I don't really see this Katarina doing much other than hopefully getting a little bit of farm and not dying too much. I mean, the Katarina doesn't ignite, but ignite means if you get poked out, you have to walk back to lane.
Very true.
If the Malzahar pushes and roams, you can't really do much about it. It's not like an Amumu is gonna, he's going to, when he hooks a Malzahar, nothing's gonna happen. And then the Malzahar will, beat him up. And the Amumu will run away from Malzahar's minions, and Malzahar will complete his roam. Like, Malzahar should be able to kind of push and roam, essentially at will.
Yeah.
And they can't really do anything about that. Which is a problem, because, Malzahar, if he can press one button on, die.
Yeah, so it's definitely going to be very reliant. I think the level 6 is going to be really important, and the first Drake fight is probably going to decide which way this game swings. Okay. Oh, hey, so AMO coming in huge. Gnar's auto tech range is shorter than Tristana at level 1. Tristana should have the range advantage. That said, Gnar's Boomerang does have a pretty significant range. He does have the 3-hit combo with his hyper. But yeah, I think Tristana definitely... I like this. I really like that they put the Tristana in top lane, because I think that Tristana can win that lane. So at least they have one winning lane right now.
Yeah. And how do you counter a Tristana's early game?
You camp her.
Yeah, you do that.
If I'm the Gnar, I'm saying, hey man, Xin Zhao, you gotta just camp my lane.
Yeah. I mean, what would you play into a Tristana if you wanted, like, all-in potential? I mean, you could maybe play Quinn. I don't know, because you can blind the Tristana.
I actually think that what you were saying, the Jax is actually a pretty good idea, because if she jumps onto you, you counter-strike immediately, you negate all of her auto-attack damage, and then you stun her.
Yeah.
And she's not able to proc her bomb because you're in counter-strike, and she needs to hit her autos in order to be able to proc the bomb to reset the rocket jump.
And, once Jax gets, like, part of Triforce, can, like, kill the Tristana.
Yeah.